Welcome back to Cannes, Caribbean Affiliate News. This segment is sponsored by TravelSpan Vacations. More than 1,400 physicians from Cuba and 25 other countries were due to receive their degrees on Tuesday from the University of Medical Sciences by its Spanish acronym in the central Cuban province of Camagüey. This will be the largest graduation of foreign graduates in the history of this institution. The event not only includes doctors, but also graduates in stomatology, psychology, nursing, and health technology. Around a third of the graduates are foreign students who have access to education in Cuba through various collaboration programs, as the Latin American School of Medicine Rolando Sanchez, Vice Chancellor of UCM, said. He added that arriving at such a big graduation of foreign students, mainly from Latin America, the dream of Fidel Castro and Hugo Chavez of training thousands of doctors in the region comes true. Gretel Alvarez, best student of the recently concluded course, stressed in a recent interview to the local press the careful preparation they received in UCM and expressed their commitment to provide services anywhere the Cuban health system needs it. That is a premise supported from the early years of training based on community integration linked to primary care and family doctors, Miguel Garcia Rodriguez, Dean of UCM Faculty of Medicine, noted. A police investigation has been launched into an incident of theft of a honeymooning couple. The incident occurred at the Batibu Beach in Calabisci on Tuesday. Calabisci police officers are investigating a report of theft of over 1,200 EC dollars and other items belonging to a Texas woman and a UK-Canadian citizen who resides in Texas. According to a reliable source, the couple stopped at the Batibu Beach for a sea bath while on their way to the airport to collect a friend. The source stated that the couple met another foreign couple at the beach and engaged in a conversation with them. They locked their backpack, clothes, wallets, and cell phones in their rental car, which was parked only about 25 feet from the hammock on the beach, where they rested and proceeded in the water. They noticed a few local men, but no other tourists or bathers in the area. Later, other groups of bathers, mostly tourist families, arrived at the beach. The local men continued to loiter in the area. The source said the honeymoon man had hidden his car key in a bush near the parked car and had not realized that the loitering men had seen him do it. While the two couples were in the water within 40 feet of the car, the thieves retrieved the key and used it to enter the car, crouched down on the side of the car away from the view of the bathing couples. They grabbed everything from the car and left, he said. One of the women, not the victim, saw two men and what appeared to be a shorter teenage boy wearing a black backpack, which it turns out was stolen from the car, close to the car and leaving the beach, but she thought nothing of it. When the female visitor left the water to check her cell phone to see if her friend's flight was on schedule, it was then she realized the car keys in the car door and that they had been robbed, the source informed. Their wallets with several credit cards, a document needed to re-enter the U.S., their personal papers and driver's license, about 200 EC dollars and 400 US dollars, the woman's platinum wedding ring valued at over 2,000 US dollars, their cell phones and backpack with all their clothing was stolen. Some 4.5 years after government took charge, CL Financial is to return to shareholders, but not to the perceived wrongdoers who were there when the company went belly up. This is according to the framework for a new agreement between government and the financial giant, a copy of which was obtained by the Express. The framework for the new agreement is currently being considered by the cabinet, but most significantly government, or rather the taxpayer, would recover every cent of the $23.3 billion it put into rescuing the company. CLF Chairman Gerald Yetming, while not wanting to say anything about the framework until discussions were complete, stressed yesterday the taxpayers would get back every cent. The framework for the new agreement, which takes the form of a letter of intent, states none of the directors or executives of CL Financial Limited, its subsidiaries and affiliates who held office before January 31, 2009, shall be eligible to be appointed a member of the board of the CLF and or its subsidiaries without the consent of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. That would isolate Lawrence Dupree, Andre Motel, Gita Saklal, and Michael Anthony Fifi and others who held important positions at the time when CLF approached government for a financial bailout, and a memorandum of understanding was signed. That MOU provided for government to nominate 4 of 7 directors of CLF. The framework for the new agreement proposes that government shall be entitled to appoint 3 persons on the 7-member board. Government will therefore be surrendering governance control of the institution. The framework identifies the following assets for settlement of the government debt: shareholdings in Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited, Methanol Holdings International Limited, Republic Bank Limited, Angostura Holdings Limited, CL World Brands Limited, and Home Construction Limited. The letter of intent proposes that all the shares in Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited, Methanol Holdings International Limited, and Republic Bank Limited be disposed of entirely. It recommends, however, that CLF keep at least 51% ownership interest in Angostura, CL World Brands Limited, and Home Construction Limited. Government Yatming stress, on the basis of the current valuations of the main assets, including Methanol and Republic Bank and other companies, including shares in OCM, in which CLECO owns 30%, government is getting back every cent it put in CL Financial. He said unless the valuation of those things drop because of some disaster in the world, then government will not be fully repaid. He added some valuations on certain things were in minor dispute, but the framework would allow the government to get back every cent. The shareholders' agreement was extended 3 times and expires tomorrow. The expectation was the new agreement would have been crafted and signed in time for a 30-day extension of the old agreement to give Cabinet time to examine the terms and conditions of the new framework for an agreement. This means the government will relinquish control on August 25th. The company had scheduled its annual general meeting in anticipation of a decision being made on the issue, but this meeting would have to be adjourned. For the insurance business, the plan is the portfolio of good business was to be transferred to Atrius, which will be run as an insurance company. That business will not be part of CLF. The source added the proposal was that the government would either own Atrius or an insurance business might purchase it. The source added the problem with government ownership was that in order to capitalize that company, they would need to inject $2 billion, and it was not clear whether government would want to do this. Finance Minister Larry Huwai told the reporters on Monday that Cabinet was still considering the terms and conditions of the new agreement. And I quote, "We are still in discussions on it. I wouldn't want to compromise that. We are getting close to the end. As soon as we have a decision, we will communicate it," he said. It is understood that the matter has gone before the Finance and General Purposes Committee twice and went to Cabinet last Thursday. Financial sources, however, stressed it was very critical that government and the CLF shareholders come to a peaceful settlement. This must be handled delicately, properly, and peacefully, a source stated. Sources said if there is no peaceful agreement and the government has to move to liquidate CLECO and CL Financial, there would be considerable negative consequences for the economy. The discoveries of illegal taps drilled into Mexican oil and gas pipelines to steal fuel have doubled in number during 2013. Mexico's state-owned oil company says over 1,000 illegal fuel taps have been discovered in the first 6 months of this year, almost twice the 722 taps uncovered in the same period of 2012. It is one of the few crime-related statistics that has grown under the administration of new President Enrique Peña Nieto, who took office in December. The illegal fuel taps frequently result in explosions or fires, such as the pipeline explosion Sunday that injured 7 people on the outskirts of Mexico City. The government said Tuesday it is unclear whether more taps are being drilled this year or whether authorities are just getting better at finding them. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
Hey, excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. This your boy Wyclef Jean, man, and I'm chillin', man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.